This is Mission Transition, a podcast powered by Still Serving Veterans. Here, those who've served open up about what comes after the military, the questions, the breakthroughs, and the lessons learned. Because transition isn't the end of the mission, it's the beginning of the next one.
All right, welcome to another Still Serving Veterans podcast. Today is the 27th of July, 2026. We're very happy to have some representative from the Military Warrior Support Foundation. We look forward to getting everybody in the same room, have a good conversation about what services they provide, what all they do. We have Casey Kinzer here. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. As always, it's a Monday, so we're having the Monday glitches. She's going to join us through just the voice only. So welcome, Casey, to Still Serving Veterans podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know I'm sorry we're having some difficulties here, but I'm still excited to be here and appreciate the opportunity to talk about the foundation.
Sure. And we, like anything, we muscle through whatever we got to do. So, hey, so let's start out with, for our listeners who may not know what the Military Warriors Support Foundation is or what they do, can you tell us a little bit about the mission and why it was created?
Absolutely. So Military Warrior Support Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and our focus is supporting our nation's combat wounded veterans and Gold Star spouses. This coming March will be our 20th year and my 17th year of being with this incredible organization. And so we were founded by our CEO, Lieutenant General Leroy Sisco, really with the mission of seeing some of the difficulties that specifically our combat wounded heroes experience as they're transitioning out of the military. And so we've created some programs that are designed to support them in their unique areas of need. We've got a home donation program, a vehicle donation program. We've got a recreational activities program, and then a leadership development program. So several.
Nice. And I think that's probably my next question was going to be what set you guys apart from other organizations. But I think you touched on it briefly. Is you're only for combat wounded veterans?
Correct.
And Gold Star?
Correct.
That's great. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Gold Star are for the spouses that their spouse was killed in combat, correct?
Yes, that is correct. And in addition, what we also feel like sets us apart from other programs is, so not only do our recipients receive a home or a vehicle, but we also have a financial literacy program that goes along with those programs. It's a 3-year program for our home donation recipients and a 2-year program for our vehicles. And so it's a structured financial literacy program, and really take this opportunity to not have a mortgage or a vehicle payment, and use it as an opportunity to pay off debt, create savings, whatever their financial goals. Their mentors take them through this program, and use this opportunity to the best of their ability.
That's great. And you guys been around, you said, for 20 years, is that right?
Yeah, it'll be 20 years this coming March.
Wow. Yeah. And Still Serving Veterans, we just celebrated our 20-year. So it's kind of neat that we're both 20 years old. Our organizations are 20 years old.
Congratulations.
And I really think that shows, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, congratulations. That's saying something to be around so long.
Oh yeah.
And, as the needs of our veterans change, to still, stand up for them. And so congrats to you guys.
Yeah. Same to you. Hey, so what are some biggest challenges that wounded veterans face and the Gold Star families face? And how do you guys fit into that?
Sure. So, I think probably one of the most significant struggles is that our combat wounded heroes or Gold Star spouses, these situations that have happened to them, that wasn't necessarily planned. Maybe they were planning to be in the military for the rest of their life, or even or maybe not their life, but for longer. And all of a sudden, everything changes, and their income potential has now changed, and and so what do I do now? And all that changes really fast, and so that's why we have our programs to support them during that time as they're figuring out what this next chapter is going to look like for them.
Yeah, I think that's huge because I've had some battle buddies, friends when I was served that got injured. And you're right. I think you got your mindset on I'm going to make this a career, or I got this going on for the next 4 years, and then boom, something happens. You have a combat wound, or especially if a spouse loses their spouse, their whole world gets turned upside down. So I think that's great that you guys are able to step in and really provide some needed assistance. And speaking of assistance, what I know you briefly talked about it. So talk to us about all the categories that you guys help with,
Mhm.
whether it be housing, you said cars, financial literacy. Can you talk more about that?
I can. Our programs are all across the country. We are approaching our 1,000th home and donated across every state in the U.S. And so we started that program back in 2010. As I mentioned, it is a 3-year program, and so our families meet with their mentor on a monthly basis and working on building a monthly budget and spending control strategies and then just home maintenance, learning how to, a lot of times our families, they're just used to calling base housing when something happens, and teaching them
Right.
how to be proper homeowners and save for, expenditures that happen. And then at the end of that 3 years, we do transfer the deed over. During that 3 years, Military Warriors maintains the deed during that time. And then at the end, we do transfer to them, still completely mortgage free. But hopefully by
Wow.
then they've developed some new skills and again, are set up to really have some long-term sustainability. And
Right.
similar to the vehicle program, they do receive that vehicle, and that mentoring program is 2 years in that instance. And same thing, financial literacy, proper vehicle maintenance, and yeah, and we're at about, we just started our vehicle program later. We're approaching our 250th vehicle. Ironically, as our nation celebrates its 250th year,
Right.
we're about to
Yeah.
have our
Right.
250th vehicle, which is pretty cool.
Right. And I guess if the accommodations are needed to make in the vehicle, like for wheelchair access and stuff like that, all of that.
Yes, whether they need accommodations for the vehicle or for the home, we're able to work with our contractors and make sure that's taken care of for them. And in
Right.
some instances, when there's been some significant need, we have partnered with builders and built some homes from the ground up for the specific needs of some of our heroes.
Wow, that's huge. And that's what I was going to ask. I guess it sounds like there's a mix of buying houses that are currently constructed versus constructing a new house. Is it a mix between those two?
It's a mix, they're it's certainly a smaller proportion where we've, built from the ground up. The majority are, already established homes that we just go in and if
Right.
any modifications are needed or renovations are needed, we'll make sure it's move-in ready for them. And we do this through partnering with financial institutions, and we come together and provide these for them.
That's huge. And so how big an organization are you guys? I guess you're nationwide, I take it.
We are nationwide, yes, and we have 20 employees.
Wow.
So we've got an incredible
And
team.
so go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say, we've got an incredible team
No, no, please.
for our, for serving a nation. I'm really proud of our team of 20 to handle what we do. But yeah, we try to keep it lean,
Wow.
keep our admin expense really low. For the last 10 years, we've averaged a 5% or below admin expense, and so we're very intentional about making sure the majority and as much funding as we can goes towards our programs and not
Good.
towards administrative expenses.
Right. I think we may have double checking. Did you hear my question about where you guys are headquartered?
Oh, I did not hear that. Sorry. We are headquartered in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, San Antonio, Texas. All right. I was stationed at Fort Sam Houston for a while. It's a great place.
Yeah, Military City, USA. It's a great hub for us, specifically for our nation's wounded heroes, to connect with them locally at the hospital and base and stuff like that. And so
Right.
it's a good place to be.
Right. And how would, if a person's hearing this and they're wounded or they're a spouse, a Gold Star member, how would they get in contact with you? Is it just literally a Google search
Yeah, they can
and sign up
search
that
us
way?
and or go to our website at militarywarriors.org, and all of our programs, we've got the application right there on our website, and they can read about the programs. They can see where we have opportunities that are currently available, cars or homes or some outdoor recreation opportunities, and fill out an application right there online. And then a vetting coordinator will reach out and talk with them more and get them through that vetting process.
Right. And then, and as that would be, if somebody wanted to donate to your program, I guess, obviously you make it real easy to donate. You can donate through the website, or is there other avenues that can be people that can make donations?
Absolutely, right through our website there, and I believe Facebook has some platforms we can donate there as well. And but our
Right.
website's a great, easy way, and we try to make it simple for folks to either donate, whether financially. We also have opportunities where folks can donate their vehicles in any condition, and we're able to use those to create funding for our program as well.
Okay, so if people can donate if they're going to buy a new car and they don't know what they want to do with their old car, they can donate a car.
They can, in any
Oh
condition.
wow!
We will come and pick it up and help you with the title transfer process and everything. We try to make it as easy as possible, and that can generate some funding for our programs.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think a lot of people, have a car, they, don't want to go through the hassle of trying to sell it and do title changes and stuff like that. And that can really give it to a worthy organization such as yourself. So I definitely want to hammer that home, that people can donate their cars to the organization, and they'll make it as easy as possible with a title transfer. I guess if I'm in California, I'm in Oregon, I can donate my car no matter where I am in America?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, car, boat.
You ready for some
RV?
Cool.
I was just saying, car, boat, RV,
boat?
really. Yeah, any sort of motorized vehicle we can take, and we work with the company who that's what they do, is vehicle transport, and they'll go and pick it up for us and help you with all the paperwork, and you get a tax deductible donation.
Ah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, you ready for some rapid fire questions? I only got like 6 of them.
All right, shoot.
All right, you ready? All right, here we go. One word that describes Military Warriors Support Foundation.
Support.
Yes,
so many.
I like it. Support. Yeah, really. All right, so one word that describes Military Warrior Support Foundation is support. I like it. What's the most rewarding part of your job?
Recovery. And I mean that in a sense of not only our families get to kind of recalibrate their lives, whether that be just financially and emotionally. And, we spend so long with our families. It's just so incredible to see the transformation that happens for our families from the beginning to the end of their programs. And so I guess, maybe transformation's the better word, but yeah.
No, I think that's huge, because I imagine you do spend, especially if a person's having a house built. I mean, that takes several months to a year to do that. So you're constantly in contact with the veteran and building those relationships. I think that's great.
It does. And then their mentor is in contact with them monthly for the next 3 years. And so we really do build very strong relationships with our families, and continue to talk with them even once their program is over. You talk about a lot when finances are discussed, lots of other things come up. And
Yes.
Our mentors really do create wonderful bonds with their families. And it's such a blessing to be able to walk along with them during that time, and just see the outcomes that come from the hard work that they put in.
Yeah, right. And I think, so you talk about mentors. How does somebody become a mentor, or what's the selection process for somebody to become a mentor?
We've got our mentors have a variety of backgrounds. Some are from the finance industry. A lot of them are teachers. Some are prior service themselves, and we've been really blessed. Our team of mentors right now have all been with us for 10 plus years, and so they've literally mentored hundreds of families each, and but they've come to us, with their referrals. We're just coming and saying they're interested, and but we do ask a lot. It's a lot of documentation, a lot of support for the
Yeah.
families, and it's not a volunteer position, and it's a really important
It's not a
position.
volunteer position?
No, we
Oh,
it's a lot that we ask of these folks. So
sure.
they are yeah, team members.
Okay, cool. All right, back to the rapid fire questions. What's most surprising thing you've learned from veterans?
Surprising. I have been
Most interesting thing?
well, sometimes surprising is how humble our nation's veterans are, and you'd be surprised sometimes how hard it is to give away a free home or a free car, and because they're mostly willing, oh, somebody deserves it more than we, and
Mm,
are always so ready to have somebody else go in front of them, and it just over and over are how humble and grateful our heroes have been is just always so refreshing and sometimes surprising.
yeah, I think you guys were still serving veterans and the Military Warrior Support Foundation share a lot, like, because a part of what we do is help people to either whether they're just now transitioning out of the military or they've been out for a little while, whatever it is find employment. So I think that's right along with establishing your life, like you guys help out with homes. That's such a huge thing for a family to have security that you're providing by having a home, and then transportation, which could opens up the aperture for them to be able to maybe go get a job or have that assisted, the assisted, not assisted, it's not the right word, accommodations made with the vehicles or in the homes, depending on their disability, whatever it is. So I think still serving veterans and your organization kind of shake hands in that part of you're setting them up to be successful. You're
Absolutely.
creating a stage for them to,
Yeah,
go ahead.
all of our programs, we talk about we're whether it's a home or a vehicle, or an opportunity to get out in the outdoors, or it's an opportunity for some stabilization for them, and through that transformation becomes possible. And whether it's the home, like you said, or the car, and then our leadership development program, Leadership for Life, it's a 10-month program, and it's a cohort of a small class of veterans, and they're learning how to apply all the incredible skills that they get in the military. And how am I going to apply this in this new chapter? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to start a business? Do I want to get into a new kind of employment? And helping them create a plan for that, and and helping hold them accountable to that, and but using that group to lean on, and even same things, our outdoor recreation, when they're out in those small groups and that camaraderie, they really develop incredible bonds with those folks. And we've seen
Right.
over and over, they continue to talk after that and support each other. And but if you can provide that opportunity for stabilization for them, some sort of touch point for them, that really creates an opportunity for transformation.
Yeah, no, very well put. I think that's great, and I think yeah, I was very interested or very impressed with it, you guys, because I imagine you guys are building all kinds sorts of different houses, 5 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom, whether it be wheelchair accessible, a whole variety of homes
Yeah,
and
they're
cars and vehicles that you.
Yeah, there really are. We've had condos for folks that don't really want to deal with taking care of a lawn or dealing with those things, and then all the way up to yeah, some of our families are pretty good sized families and need some of those larger
Right.
homes. And so thankfully we've been able to, in collaboration with our partners, be able to provide for what those families need.
So how are you guys? What's the biggest way that you get funding? Do you have a development team that um, goes out and solicits? What's the best way? Not the best way, but what's your kind of the pipeline of the funding?
It's a good split between we've got some incredible corporate partners of ours who various whether it be in the financial industry or the we've worked with Keurig Dr. Pepper and some more product industry are great supporters of ours, and then we've also got a strong base of individuals who just have gotten to know our programs and become a strong base of just individual donors.
That's great. Is there anything that we didn't discuss that you would like to highlight? And it's kind of a two-part question. Please highlight whatever the best message that you got. And then if somebody's hearing this and they're a wounded in combat or they're a Gold Star family, what's the best way to get in contact with you? And then we're going to bring in Alan.
Wonderful. Yeah. Please go to our website. Whether you're interested in supporting us financially or just learning more about our programs or potentially applying, all the information is there. And, we really do want to continue to serve heroes, but we cannot do it without support from whether it's corporations or individuals and or grant opportunities. And so please go there, and whether you're able to contribute yourself or just share about what we're doing, and maybe somebody that can, so we can continue to support our nation's heroes in ways that continue to impact their lives.
Yeah. I think you guys are definitely, like creating real impact, real emotional, real life changing or generational changing, really help that you guys are providing, because it's affecting not only the immediate veteran, but if they have kids or whatever it is, you're really making that multi-generational assistance. That's huge.
Absolutely. From their even just the stability of a home or a car, but those financial skills they're learning, they're going to teach their children. And yes, we say that a lot,
Right.
that this impact will be generational.
Generational. That's right. All right, cool. I think we're going to bring on somebody that that received assistance. Is that right?
That's correct.
Alan, is that his name? All right, cool.
Yes.
Alan, there you are, my man. What's up?
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, tell us a little about who you are and what's going on with you, and how did the organization help you out? How did Military Warrior Support Foundation assist you in your life?
Sure. Well, I was in the Army. My last deployment, I was injured in 2009, and spent a few years in recovery on that. And as part of that, I was in circles that served wounded veterans and heard about this program back in 2010 and applied. And honestly, my wife and I thought, this can't be real. People don't do this when we applied, but we applied. And we were placed into our home, and it was like Casey said, it didn't feel we were worthy of it. There was a lot of that, but a big part of who we are, and that Military Warriors helped us to realize with the home, is we had felt called to be foster parents. And part of the question, when we moved into the home from the organization, was not only that they were going to support us with the financial mentorship, but how are you going to become a part of the community that you're moving into? Because they're not just placing the warrior in a house, they're placing them into a community around them, to participate in and be supported by. And as part of that, we were able to realize our calling to be foster parents. and to use our home uh, to be able to take care of children, bring them into our lives. And I'm proud to say, actually, we adopted all of our kids from fostering them. We've
Oh, wow.
we've adopted 4 children. 3 are with us. One of the children we adopted was terminally ill, so she was only with us for a year. But
Oh, no.
overall, the whole journey was not only the support from the organization, but that they empowered us to become a part of a community and continue a mission in our lives.
Right. Yeah, I think that's great, that ripple effect that that you had, and that you were able to, I don't know, pay it forward, so to speak, and being adoptive parents and stuff. That's great. Where are you currently located?
I'm in Grand Prairie, Texas, so in the Dallas area.
Oh,
And yeah,
nice.
and it was great to be brought here. We've loved being here. We've been here for 15 years now in our home.
Oh, wow. And you said, how did you come across the Military Warriors Support Foundation? How did they cross your eyes?
Sure. Yeah. So while I was still undergoing treatment by the Army, surgeries, the care, I was part of a unit that treated wounded warriors, and they would send out, "Hey, there's this resource," periodically. And one of the ones that came across was Military Warriors, that they were looking
Right.
to place a veteran in a home, like a combat wounded veteran in
Right.
a home. And that's how I heard about it.
And talk to us a little bit about the application process. How was that for you? How you just went online and applied, and you got a phone call one day, kind of thing, or?
We did go online. We applied. We went through the paperwork, and that's part of one of the first places. Not only like talked about who I was, my story, how we would want to fit into a community where we would be moving to, but I'm sorry. The second part of the question was
I was. You're making me recall too, man.
the application
Sometimes I just
process.
spit out questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and just how did it go for you? Like, again,
Oh, yeah.
you applied online. There was a paperwork portion of it, and you got a phone call one day.
Yes. So we had been, I believe we also did a phone call, like just for them to interview us as well after the application and get to know us and talk with us. And then one day, my wife and I, we were driving along the highway, and they said, "We have some news. You might want to pull over." And I can even remember the exit in the area where we pulled over, and we stopped, and they gave us the news. And it was sometime around,
Oh, wow.
like close to Christmas or New Year's Eve. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, one of those moments you don't forget, where something like incredible is happening and
Right.
life-changing.
Life-changing. Exactly right. So what'd you do while you're in you say you were Army?
I was. So my job is called Civil Affairs. That was what I did in my.
Okay. Yeah. Civil affairs. Nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I got to have the kind of the nicer side of it, to be able to get clean water, build schools,
Yeah.
improve people's lives, help them to work with the government so that they could be in a good place for us to strategically withdraw.
Yeah. And I think that's huge. You talk about your role as a civil affairs officer, that you had impact on people's lives. You were doing schools, you were doing clean water, you were doing all these things to help support people. And then, a certain amount of time goes by, you're kind of a recipient of a similar act of kindness and that kind of thing. So that's got to resonate with you quite a bit, because you know how much effort it takes to do that. All the logistics, all the funding, all the paperwork, everything that the Military Warrior Support Foundation has to do to be able to do what they do. I mean, there's a lot of
Absolutely.
behind the scenes actions that they take, to really do that, and to be able to do it for 20 years, that really speaks volumes to their credibility. That's huge.
Absolutely.
And I can just add a little, we do have a pretty thorough
Sure.
vetting process. Not only do we want to get to know the families but confirm all of their military documentation. They are who they say they are, and their financial situation. This is mortgage free, but we all know home ownership is not cost free, and certainly want to make sure that they have enough resources to be able to handle the anticipated costs of the home. And it's not always necessarily the most wounded or most exciting story. It's the veteran that's going to have the most opportunity to succeed in that particular home or car, whatever opportunity we're vetting, and taking a look at their resources and like Alan said, what they're wanting to do with this, and just really trying to find the best match, so that they, and Alan's a great example of that. Here they are 15 years later, still in their home, and we're just so proud of that. And I remember when we called Alan, and same way, I've been blessed to be a part of hundreds of those calls, but I do remember their voices. It's a blessing to get to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think that you can't understand that, because I had a job previous to the one I had, and I was a recruiter for a hospital, and when I was contacting people, I was offering a job. And then just those types of conversations, Casey, I'm sure you've had them. Like you're delivering some of the best news. Like Alan said, some life altering news that you receive just kind of out that you're going along about your day, you're riding down the road. And then all of a sudden you get this phone call that's, they've been hoping and praying for and everything like that. So I'm sure that's a great uplifting portion of your job, Casey. Is that right?
Absolutely. My husband is a combat wounded veteran, and so I can, empathize with some of the struggles that our families are going through. And while everybody's story is unique, I can relate, and the relief that we're able to provide for these families. It's just such a blessing to be a part of that, and because I do understand what that is like. The experiences that they're having, and sometimes the vetting process, it can happen really quick, and sometimes people stay in our system for years because we do keep applications, and if it didn't work out for one asset, then we'll reach back and call families years later and say, hey, we've got another one, and do you want to be considered for this one? And it's worked out for them, and so we're committed to supporting them when we can.
Yeah, right. Hey, Alan, I know that I think you mentioned it. I know Casey mentioned it, that, what would you tell somebody that they're like, oh, that's not for me, that somebody else is more wounded than me, that I'm not deserving of an opportunity. What would you tell somebody that's listening about that?
I would say, for one, to tell them that yes, they are worthy of it. I was thinking that I would echo exactly what Casey said, that we find ourselves saying, oh, somebody else should get this, not me. I don't really deserve this. I actually did that myself a little bit.
Sure.
And to also keep in mind that there are people out there, and Military Warriors is helping connect them, that those people want to help. They want to celebrate the service and welcome us home and invest in our future, because they recognize that it's not just a one-time gratitude. They're doing something to help on that journey forward, because that journey after being injured never ends.
Right. Yeah, I really like
well
you said
said.
that the journey moving forward.
Yeah, and I would say veterans are always so great about wanting to continue to serve, and I guess one thing I would say is let us decide who's worthy or not. And, we'll take that decision.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
but secondly,
That's
look at it as just as Alan and his family have done, of, it's a way to continue to serve. They have taken this blessing of a home and used it to bless others. And so many of our heroes have become ambassadors for our program and continuing to share the information with other folks they know. And so, I would encourage people to look at it that way, that this is an opportunity to help highlight this organization and help spread the word, and be a testimonial of these programs, and so please apply.
Right. And I think that's a good area to stop on. Please apply. I think Casey said it best. If you're feeling like, for our listeners, if you're feeling like, oh, that's not for me, or whatever it is, let them decide. Why not apply and see what's going on, what services you may need from them. And I also encourage our listeners out there that I think it's a great cause to donate to. I think it's, again, making very impactful lives. Alan's a great example of how you've changed, your life was changed, and you've changed lives by adopting kids. So I think that, that as a perfect highlight of what this organization can do, and the ripple effects of their energies and all their coordination and all their logistics and everything that they do to pull these things together and make it happen. So with that being said, Casey, is there anything lastly that you would like to say to the listeners about your organization and anything like that?
We're ready. We're ready to help, and we're ready for folks to join alongside us and support us in this mission. So please go check out the website, militarywarriors.org, and we look forward to the journey with you.
Great. Alan, you got anything to close us out, my man?
Just to encourage people, like the reason the organization exists, do apply. They want to help. They want to enable us. They want to, like I said, that journey after being injured never ends, both emotionally and physically, and things happen. And what the organization is doing is helping. They want to help us to be able to handle those periods where it might be a struggle, where so when a veteran who is wounded loses their job, I experienced that, and I had the stability of a home, and I didn't have to worry about it. And so that's why I want to encourage people also to invest and support the organization in this work, and encourage brothers and sisters in arms that have experienced something like me. Go ahead and apply. The people out there, the organization, they want to help you.
Great. And I think this is probably one of our better podcasts that we had. I think it's, great when nonprofits that are helping veterans can get together and, scratch each other's back, so to speak. So I really appreciate the efforts and the time that you guys put into this. And we look forward to, hearing from you down the road. Alan, best of luck to you and your family, and keep doing the Lord's work. And Casey, pleasure meeting you. And I hope everything, you guys have another 20 plus years in your organization's growth.
Amen. Thank you. Likewise.
All right. Thank you. Everybody have a good day. Mission Transition out for now.
Thanks for listening to Mission Transition, a podcast from Still Serving Veterans. Have a question, a comment, or want to share your transition story on the show? We'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, social@ssv.org.